far, my birthday has not gone according to plan at all. Well, I woke up and my ostomy bag had leaked in bed. It's like it exploded. It must have had too much air pressure in there and then rolled on it during the night. Whatever, I was already planning to shower today, so got that all cleaned up, put a fresh bag on, and then showered, which usually I would do a shower and then do a fresh bag, but I was just nervous about having enough energy. But then in the middle of my shower, this came off and the JP drain dropped. I thought it was going to yank out of my belly, but it's held in place on my belly with a stitch, luckily. But also, it was the most intense pain. And luckily, I've got both my pain meds on board, but I was immediately so nauseous, and so that kind of cut the shower short. The rest of the day was a makeshift spa day. Yay. Oh, and a baby behind you. Hi. Good morning. She's like, excuse me. I had breakfast in bed, and then my grandma blow dried my hair, which was really nice with this blow dryer brush because it kind of gave me like a little bit of a blowout. And then of course all the time with my little smiley girl. Oh, I love her. Shower completely wiped me out, but I got a good nap in, and then my in-laws brought Mexican food for lunch. I am trying to get up like every couple hours, like whenever I change different sides, because I'm pretty much like totally side laying right now. I was feeling really rough there for a few hours at the end of this morning. I'm hoping that starting next week I can get a little bit more movement in, or feel confident enough to like go out to the living room and just change scenery and stuff. But we'll see. Take it day by day. To finish off my day of pampering, my grandma did my nails too. I love these ones because they're so easy to glue on and they last for like 10 days and they look like real nail salon quality, so love them. They're in my bio. Today's gonna be a good day. I feel like I started off the day kind of anxious, but then I realized I just need a direction, I need a direction in my life. So I decided to have all of my like books that are self-improvement type books and a few different notebooks. I'm definitely one of those people that likes to make a vision board for the year. I always like to have like a goal in mind for what I want my life to look like, especially as a stay-at-home mom. So my job is the household and the kids, we have one kid. Maybe my husband's the other kid. No, but seriously, I feel like I want to have a well-rounded view of what I want our year to look like and what our family experience is like. I read this book called Future Boards by Sarah Centrella. This is so good, and I've done, I think, like 4 different boards. It's all about manifesting what you actually want in life, and because it's worked for me. I've just had a lot of proof in my own life where that stuff really does get drawn to you when you focus on it. I also strongly believe in whatever you put out there into the universe is going to come back to you, and that can be negative thoughts. So that's why I always lean towards the positive. But this obviously energizes me. I really feel like excited to kind of deep dive in again with a combination of doing a little future boarding and then also focusing on bringing in some money for the new year, starting some new habits, and also focusing on simplifying my life. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I'm really excited to like make the most of my time. If I have to recover in bed, may as well make it good. Can you tell the pain meds are finally working too? This last year I've learned a lot about myself, that I actually really enjoy cooking and I enjoy making things from scratch. So I feel like that's something I really want to lean into more. We dabbled a little bit into gardening, like hardly at all. But this year I definitely want to get more into it, and now that I actually have the energy to keep up with it, that's something that I want to learn more about, because I don't know how to garden. Like, I didn't grow up with a big vegetable garden or anything, so that's something that I really want to put effort into learning and really make it a good one. Something that sets a future board apart from a vision board is that she recommends not doing quotes or like words at all on the board. So you're looking for pictures to put on there, and that helps you like visualize yourself in that dream that you have. I would find pictures that help me visualize myself in that. So it would be a woman cooking in the kitchen, but it wouldn't be like her face full on. It'd be like maybe the back of her head, a blonde ponytail or something. Or it would be a mom with her baby, and like she's looking at the baby but you really don't see their faces, because I don't know, maybe I just felt weird like having someone else's family on my vision board, but that was something that I really wanted for my future, and then it came true, and it came true in a way that I wasn't anticipating. And I think that's what's cool about doing a future board, is that it unlocks your mind to really be open to receiving the experience or the thing that you want. And instead of focusing on, I'm going to do XYZ to get to this point, you just focus on what you want to get to. And it might come to you in a totally unconventional way or a way that you never thought of before. And I think that's really a good way to go forward because life is unpredictable. What is like one of your top things that you want to do or experience next year? Can you explain more on the drain? Yes, so I was really nervous about this part too. I'm going to show you my drain that's on my belly right now. I have some like tape holding it up and all of that, but pretty much what it is, it's called a Jackson-Pratt drain, and it helps to reduce the swelling and the inflammation that can happen after surgery because this bulb creates like a low pressure suction, so it's like constantly draining out any excess fluid, which would be blood or other fluid that can accumulate near your surgery site. I'm like out of breath. They put it in during my surgery, so I woke up with it. Basically, here, I'm gonna take this off because I need to do new bandaging on it. I like to tape it up so that it doesn't like fall funny on me. See, I moved around a lot, so I feel like it made it bleed a little bit. But as you can see, it goes into my belly, just like a hole in there, and then they actually stitched it. I don't know if you can tell. I did another video where I have like showing my scars and stuff, and we got a little bit closer up view of this, but it's literally just a tube that goes in my belly, and I think it's kind of long from what I've heard other people say, but not gonna lie, it does feel weird. It doesn't, like inside me, it doesn't hurt, but I can definitely feel like there's a tubing inside me. It's just weird and I try to ignore it. But I will say that video that you commented on when this bulb like fell and so the tube kind of pulled on this site, that hurt a lot. I found it comfortable to like tape the drain to another part on my body because then I feel like it puts less pressure on the actual site that it's coming out of. Now, it's not a guarantee that you'll go home with this in. Sometimes surgeons will take it out before you leave, but I have had enough like output coming into here. I don't know what to call it. I've had enough fluid coming out into the bulb, so it was good that they left it in, and my doctor just told me right off the bat that he wanted to leave this in until our follow-up appointment, which is 2 weeks after surgery, and then he'll cut the stitch and pull it out. I've heard that part doesn't hurt, but it's just like uncomfortable feeling. So I'll report back in a couple weeks when I go and have it pulled. I'm sure it's not gonna feel good. This color plate just makes food look so much better. I love these. Yay, I'm so excited for you to get relief. Honestly, I was trying to think of like what one big tip would be, but I have a few tips that I was thinking about. So my biggest tip, I don't know if you're like me, but I am one that once I start to feel good, I do too much and then it sets me back. So my biggest tip is to just really understand that you are limited and you're going to be limited for longer than you want to be. So make sure that you have somebody there to take care of you. And even when you feel like it's starting to get better, have someone, if you can. I mean, like, so my grandma's retired and she's staying here with us and she's taking care of my 1-year-old daughter during the day, but then she's also there to help bring food to me, refill water. I'm pretty much, I'm on day 10 of recovery and I'm still mostly in bed. I get up to go to the bathroom and kind of like stand around a little bit. I try to like get up and move my body every couple hours, but it's mainly still at the resting recovery point. And so I feel like actually that is my number one tip. If you have someone that can be with you day and night, it just will help you heal better because you can only heal once, right? So if you do too much and then it sets you back, like that it sucks and it prolongs the recovery period. Also, to go along with that, let them help you. I am one that like, I want to do everything myself, but I've had to really learn to just like sit back and accept the help because I know that's going to be more beneficial in the long run too. And I do feel like since I have kind of let go and let them help me, the past few days I have started to notice an improvement and I feel like I am getting better. So that's really good. My third tip is to stay on top of your pain meds. Don't let the pain get away from you because I've done that a few times now and it's so hard to get it back under control if it's veering off. One other little tip I have is to make a plan to pass the time by because you're going to be spending a lot of time in bed or recovering. So if you're like a TV watcher, have some shows that you want to watch lined up, or books or journaling, something to just like keep your mind occupied other than just scrolling on your phone. I'm guilty of it. I spend a lot of time scrolling on my phone, but I feel like it starts to feed into my mental health and not make me feel so good. So, and it also is straining on your eyes and all that. So anyway, yeah, just try to find other activities, coloring, things that you can do laying down. Anyway, I hope that helps. I'm just kind of depressed today. I feel like I have been ever since last night, and that's hard to admit. I just really want to get back to normal and do my daily thing. I thought I'd be okay with laying around a lot and stuff, watching TV and scrolling on my phone, but more and more I just want to get back to being mom and cooking and taking care of the house. I really have a hard time having someone else do that for me. It's temporary, but it sucks. 13 days after surgery, and here's the update. Yesterday I was kind of freaked out because I saw something in my JP drain that was not there before. I'll insert a picture in the next clip, but I'll tell you what it is first. So where the drain comes out of my belly, I was noticing about this much, the first part of it that comes out of my belly looked kind of like a grayish sludge. And I thought, oh God, is that an infection? Which kind of feels impossible because I'm already on antibiotics for an infection in my incision site, but I don't know. I Googled it, and of course, that's always a risk, is having an infection in your abdomen. And so I thought, here we go, here it is. They're gonna have to cut me open. Went down that rabbit hole. Anyway, to spare you the freak out time frame, I emailed this picture to my surgeon, and he said, everything is fine. It looks normal, whatever. In my mind, it still looks like pus, so I'll show you what it looks like. I mean, doesn't it? Regardless, I looked up how to take care of your JP drain after you get home. There was a couple different plastic surgeon offices that had posted videos on how to strip the drain. So you start by pinching at the base of where your tube meets your belly. Pinch that, and then with your other finger using something to make it slide easier, which would either be a little alcohol wipe or even a wet washcloth, something like that makes it able to slide along the rubber. You push and slide the juices inside so that it can drain into your bulb. And then you just keep moving down the line. You want to pinch, stretch, and move. Pinch, stretch, and move. You know what I mean? So it goes all the way through. After I moved that sludgy, pussy looking stuff or whatever, then it was just the clear fluid. I'll show you what it looks like now. So this is what's in my line now, and that is exactly how it should be looking at this point. So I feel a lot more relieved. And also, I'm super happy that my surgeon is so responsive at all hours of the night, even on New Year's Eve. Because I've had to email him pictures and stuff, and I'm like, is this normal? I just want to get ahead of things. If something is an infection or whatever, I want to make sure that I'm on top of it, because I know it can get really bad really quick. So I'm super grateful that whatever that was, I mean, who knows, maybe it was a buildup of stuff. I'm happy that now it's all cleared out and through. This whole recovery is mountains and valleys, I tell you. But I was able to wash my hair again yesterday and get a really good shower, and I'm having a lot better time being able to stand up and actually tolerate the shower fully. I also walked across my house yesterday and just I was able to sit on the couch on one cheek for a while. So we've got some improvements, and obviously my natural energy is picking up a little bit, so I feel like we're on the mend. Oh, and my laparoscopic incisions are so itchy. Clearly they're get this off. But this is just the glue or whatever that they put over your laparoscopic sites. And it's supposed to naturally come off, so I'm just kind of letting it do its thing. And this one is clearly starting to peel up. But I've had laparoscopic incisions a couple times before, and I just try to let it fall off naturally, because I feel like that helps the healing the most, rather than peeling it once it starts to have peely edges. So that's where that is. Day 13, post-op. 5 years ago, I had severe ulcerative colitis that no longer responded to medication, so I ended up having my large intestine removed surgically, and I ended up with an ileostomy bag. Now, 14 days ago, I had my rectum removed and my anus sewn shut because I was still having problems with ulcerative colitis in that area. Now that I have no butthole, I will always have an ileostomy bag and poop out of my abdomen. And believe it or not, that's a way better life than what I had before. After 2 weeks of not really being able to do much and having to have help with literally everything from showering to someone bringing me food and all of that, I wanted to have some sort of independence. So I decided that today's the day I was going to try to dress myself on my own. At this stage of recovery, it feels so good to celebrate all the little wins. Pros and cons on having an ileostomy bag. I love this. So I think the biggest pro is that I got my quality of life back. Whenever you have severe ulcerative colitis, you're just kind of in your own world. But after I got that large intestine removed and I didn't have that pain anymore, I had surgery pain, but I knew that that was going to get better, and it changed my life. I feel like a lot of people look at an ileostomy bag and they're like, oh my god, that sucks. How do you live with that? I actually got my life back because it took away all of the risk of like, where's the next bathroom and the pain and all of the stuff that you go through when you're flaring. You can do pretty much anything while having an ileostomy bag. You know, you can swim, I like jet skied, I could still snowboard, I could eat things that I couldn't eat before that would usually put me in a flare, like spicy food I wasn't able to have before I got my ileostomy bag, but afterwards I could. I can strength train and actually lift like heavy weights without fear of pooping my pants. My body finally got healthy enough to be able to get pregnant and have a baby. Those are just things off the top of my head, but seriously, the quality of life difference is like enough of a pro in my brain. Cons are harder for me to think about because mostly all the pros overshadow it, but there's just like some things that change. For example, you know, different pants that you have to wear. So typically what I do, I can still wear jeans, but I just go like a size up and then make sure they're really stretchy so that it can accommodate my bag. And also I wear like high-waisted ones because then it sits above my stoma and it doesn't like compress the bag as much. So clothing can be something that might change a little bit for you. You could absolutely still wear things that are form-fitting, like a bodycon dress, for example, but I just make sure it's got stretch so that there's space for my bag to expand. And honestly, I notice the bag more than anyone else does. As far as intimacy goes, everything is still normal, like works the same. It's just can you and your partner get over the fact that there's something on your abdomen? Honestly, the couple people that I've been with have said it doesn't really get in the way as much as they expected it would. But there's also, you know, wraps that you can use or little tops that can like cover that area if you feel self-conscious about it, which I did in the beginning, but now I just let it be. As far as smell goes, there's no smell when it's just like on you unless you have a leak or it's been like 5 days that you've worn the bag. They tend to break down on the inside because of the stomach acid, if that makes sense. So like the smell barrier wears out. But when you empty the bag, as anybody who goes poop, it's gonna smell. I feel like it's a bit stronger of a smell because it is just like the stomach acidy plus poop kind of smelling. But they make all sorts of deodorizers to help combat the smell, and there's poopery. You do have to empty the bag several times throughout the day, and I usually have to wake up once during the night, sometimes twice, depending on like how late I ate and if I like drank a lot before I went to bed. Sometimes it'll fill up a lot quicker, but you get used to that pretty fast. I was a stomach and side sleeper, so I just kind of learned to like you can be on your stomach, but just like propped up a little bit so that you're not putting your whole weight on the bag if it's like filling at night. No more chugging things because it'll go straight through you into your bag. But honestly, I can't really think of any other cons because, again, like I said before, like the pros just totally outweigh it. I can do everything that I wanted to do before, but even more because I couldn't do a lot of those things with being so sick. But yeah, if you have any other specific questions, I'm happy to answer them. And hopefully you'll become an ostomate too.